More of Edge's return teasers have been airing on Raw, so we'll check out the latest one. We'll also see what's going on with some bloodline-related matters, Tamina's invite to Cardi B, and more. Let's start things off with the latest vignettes for Edge's return teaser. When the first vignette aired, there was a lot of curiosity around who could be behind the teasers. But once fans slowed down the first clip and paid attention to all the small details, fans pretty much figured out it was Edge from the very first teaser. And that's been the only teaser WWE has shown. Multiple new vignettes for Edge have been airing in recent weeks. They're all extremely well done and contain so many hidden details and Easter eggs for the fans to indulge in. The latest teaser focused on 3 of Edge's classic rivals from over the years. The first item that's shown is a red and black flannel shirt being on fire. This is an obvious reference to Edge's match with Mick Foley from WrestleMania 22, where Edge had the iconic moment of spearing Foley through a flaming table. Mick Foley was of course wearing his black and red flannel during the match, which is why this was a full reference to Foley and that WrestleMania moment. We then see a couple of body shots of Edge before moving to the next teaser. A throwback Randy Orton shirt is shown, which is another obvious reference to one of Edge's biggest friends / foes in WWE from throughout his career. Edge and Randy Orton formed their tag team, rated RKO, back in the mid-2000s, which was a very dominant heel tag team. They won the tag team titles and were a constant thorn in the side for other tag teams like Triple H and Shawn Michaels back then. Not only were they a tag team, but they also spent some time being better rivals with each other. We saw Edge and Randy Orton get into a very personal feud a few years ago in 2020. So Randy Orton has been another constant reoccurring character in Edge's career. We then see John Cena's iconic hat, and this is another reference that goes without saying. Edge and John Cena had one of the greatest feuds in the mid-2000s. If you're in your early to mid-20s right now, chances are you grew up watching this feud. John Cena versus Edge had a special place in the heart of every fan that witnessed it, because it was one of the most memorable feuds with constant title changes and twists coming out of every direction. So that's what's also great about Edge's vignettes. Sure, it's building hype for the upcoming return, but it also allowed us to go back and reminisce about these great feuds Edge has been through. It's also a great reminder of just how legendary Edge's career has been, and a reminder about everyone he faced in the middle of that ring. So it was a genius way to look back at the history while also building hype for the future with his new and upcoming WWE return. So the vignettes have been cracked open from the very first teaser. It's most definitely Edge. The only true mystery that remains is Edge's return date itself. That's the part that's still unknown. Will he return in time for a Summerslam match, or will he potentially return in time for Clash at the Castle in September? That's the biggest question surrounding Edge's return right now, but it would appear that he's making his WWE return in the immediate future, and everyone expects him to get after the Judgment Day. Cardi B has been back in wrestling headlines over the last week, after she made another WWE reference in her new song about jumping off the top rope. We previously talked about how Tamina reacted to Cardi B name-dropping her father on a song, and how much she loved it. Well, Tamina took back to Twitter recently and revealed that she'd be willing to train Cardi B if she ever wanted to make that line come true of jumping off the top rope. Tamina had this to say on Twitter about that situation, quote, "I love me some Cardi B. Maybe I should teach her to go off the top ropes on some peeps." End quote. Will Cardi B ever step foot in the ring? No one really knows, but it's been rumored to happen for several years now. If Cardi does ever decide to make that WWE appearance, maybe she would surprise a lot of fans if she was trained by Tamina. Logan Paul and Bad Bunny have also been 2 recent celebrity appearances that genuinely surprised fans with their ring work. So you never know what Cardi B will be capable of if properly trained. So we'll have to continue to be on the lookout for that. The Usos and the Street Profit will be having another rematch at SummerSlam. They recently had a great match at Money in the Bank that ended in controversial fashion, so that led us to this rematch. But now, another element has been added to this match, and that's the fact that this Undisputed Tag Team match will have a special guest referee. The special guest referee role can go either way. It could be a babyface special guest referee that will try their best to call the match down the middle, or it can be a heel referee, who obviously wouldn't call it down the middle and would favor the heels. Now, considering how the Bloodline operates and how Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman's characters appear to have some sort of pull backstage, chances are that this special guest referee will be a heel and will be in favor of the Usos. So who could that individual be? Well, one of the most obvious picks would be Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn has been an honorable and distant member of the Bloodline over the last few weeks, and this may be the favor that the Usos use him for. When Sami Zayn's Bloodline story started up, this is a similar idea we discussed. We discussed that the Usos wouldn't just cut ties with Sami Zayn and dismiss him. They'll probably keep him hanging around just to use him for their own benefit. And that's exactly what this special guest referee situation would be. The Street Profits are a scary matchup for the Usos, but throw Sami Zayn into the equation and the odds are extremely back in the Bloodline's favor. The Usos know that Sami has some sort of strange loyalty to them, so make him the special guest referee, and it basically protects their titles from the Street Profits, because they know Sami will do everything to make sure they win. Or if they want to give us a very big twist, maybe something will happen during the match that completely changes how Sami Zayn feels, and he turns babyface to help the Street Profits become the new tag team champions. So putting Sami Zayn in that position will be great, and could open up a lot of possible story routes. Another name fans have been discussing is the younger brother of the Usos, Solo Sikoa. Solo has been doing his own thing in NXT, but like he even revealed himself, WWE's original plans were always to link him up with his brothers. So this would technically be a way to make that happen. The Usos and Roman Reigns pull some great strings to get Solo Sikoa this role as a special guest referee, and it'll serve as the first task he's done for the Bloodline and start building that story. And maybe Solo Sikoa would officially be called up to the main roster after that and begin his journey with the Bloodline. Helping his brothers securely retain the titles at one of WWE's biggest events of the year would be a pretty huge introduction to Solo Sikoa, so that's definitely a possibility as well. So Sami and Solo made the most sense to take that spot, but we'll have to see who that individual actually turns out to be. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.